Welcome to our deep dive into the Think and Grow Rich workbook.
Hmm.
It's like the ultimate cheat sheet for actually using Napoleon Hill's principles.
Yeah, not just reading about them.
Right.
That's right. And it's fascinating how the authors,
Yeah.
Joel Fatinos and August Gold, put this together after their own success with Hill's methods.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, hey, this stuff really works, and here's exactly how you can use it too.
It's like having a personal trainer
Yeah.
for your financial goals.
Right.
Now, the first principle they tackle is desire.
Yeah.
Hill was all about having a burning desire for what you want,
Yeah.
comparing it to a warrior burning his ships, no turning back.
Exactly. He uses the example of Thomas Edison,
Yeah.
who famously had over 10,000 failed attempts
Oh, wow.
at creating the light bulb.
Wow.
And that's persistence on another level.
10,000 failures.
Yeah.
Most of us would have thrown in the towel after 10.
Right. But that makes you think, what if we embrace those failures as stepping stones?
Right. What could we achieve if we had that level of unwavering commitment?
It's about seeing those setbacks not as defeats,
Right.
but as valuable feedback.
Yeah.
Edison himself said,
Yeah.
I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
Oh, right.
The workbook prompts you to think about this in your own life.
Right.
Have you given up on something too soon?
Yeah.
What would happen if you redefined failure as part of the process?
Okay, so we've ignited that burning desire.
Yeah.
Now, how do we make it a reality? This is where things get really interesting. The
Yeah.
workbook dives into faith and autosuggestion.
Right.
It's like reprogramming your mind for success, right?
And it's more than just positive thinking.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. Every time you repeat an affirmation,
Yeah.
you're actually rewiring your brain.
Really.
Our brains have this amazing ability called neuroplasticity,
Wow.
meaning they can change and adapt based on our experiences and thoughts.
This is like creating new neural pathways.
Exactly.
Paving the way for success.
Precisely. And the workbook provides these powerful self-confidence formulas,
Uh-huh.
basically affirmations on steroids,
Okay.
designed to instill deep belief in yourself.
But some people might be skeptical.
Sure.
They might say, just repeating phrases won't magically make me rich.
Right.
What would you say to that?
It's not magic, it's science.
Right.
Remember, emotions play a huge role in belief.
Yeah.
The workbook emphasizes the importance of emotionalizing those affirmations.
Uh-huh.
You have to truly feel them, embody them,
Yeah.
for them to take root in your subconscious.
So it's about aligning your thoughts,
Yes,
emotions, and actions.
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Now we've got the desire.
right,
We're building unshakable belief.
right.
What's the next step in this blueprint for success?
It's time to get down to the nitty-gritty of specialized knowledge. Hill debunks the myth that formal education is the only path to wealth.
Right.
Think of Henry Ford, a self-taught mechanic who revolutionized the automobile industry.
So it's not about degrees.
Wow.
It's about acquiring the specific knowledge you need to excel in your chosen field.
Exactly. And in today's world,
Yeah.
you have access to a vast ocean of knowledge at your fingertips.
Right.
The internet, online courses, libraries, mentorship programs.
It's all out there.
The workbook even offers practical advice
Yeah.
on how to tap into these resources and become a master in your area of interest.
Okay. So let's say you've identified your burning desire.
Mhm.
You're cultivating unshakable belief.
Right,
And you're actively acquiring the knowledge you need.
right.
What's next?
It's time to bring it all together
Okay.
with organized planning and the power of mastermind groups.
Okay.
Hill is a huge advocate for writing down your goals
Yeah.
and breaking them down into actionable steps.
This is where that burning desire transforms into a tangible roadmap, right?
Exactly. And mastermind groups play a crucial role.
Yeah.
Think of it as assembling your own personal board of advisors,
Yep.
a team of like-minded individuals who share your vision
Right.
and can offer support, accountability, and diverse perspectives.
The workbook even provides guidance
It does.
on how to form your own mastermind group,
Yes.
what qualities to look for in potential members,
Yeah.
and the benefits you can expect from collaborating with others.
It's like having a support system and a think tank all rolled into one.
Right.
By combining your knowledge and experience with the insights of others,
Yeah.
you can accelerate your progress and overcome challenges more effectively.
So we've laid the groundwork for success. A burning desire,
Yeah.
unshakable belief,
Yeah.
specialized knowledge,
Uh-huh.
a clear plan,
Yeah.
and a powerful support system.
Right.
But what happens when we hit those inevitable roadblocks?
Well, this is where persistence comes in.
Okay.
Hill recognized that temporary defeats are a part of life.
Right.
The key is to develop that resilient spirit.
Ah.
that ability to bounce back from setbacks
Yeah.
and keep moving forward.
He tells the inspiring story of author Fannie Hurst,
Yes.
who persevered despite facing countless rejections.
Yeah, it's a great story.
She eventually sold her story, The Great White Way, for $1,000,
Wow.
which then went on to become a bestseller.
That's incredible.
It's a powerful reminder that giving up is not an option
Right.
when you truly believe in your vision.
Exactly.
And the workbook emphasizes that having a clear purpose,
Yes.
a detailed plan,
Uh-huh.
and a supportive network, like a mastermind group,
Right.
are essential for maintaining that unwavering persistence.
It's about knowing why you're doing what you're doing,
Right.
having a roadmap to guide you, and
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and your goals.
Okay, now this next principle is one that many people struggle with,
Okay.
myself included.
Uh-huh.
Decisiveness.
Yes.
Hill was adamant that procrastination and indecision are dream killers.
Absolutely. He uses the example of Henry Ford,
Yeah.
known for his quick decision-making.
Right.
The workbook points out that while Ford might have changed his mind later,
Right.
making that initial decision was crucial for moving forward.
It's like taking that first step even if you don't have all the answers.
Exactly.
It's about trusting your judgment and taking action,
Yes.
even if it means adjusting your course along the way.
Precisely. And the workbook encourages you to examine your own decision-making process.
Okay.
Are you prone to overthinking or seeking validation from others?
Right.
Or are you able to trust your gut and make those crucial decisions, even if they feel a little scary?
Okay, now this next principle might raise a few eyebrows.
Okay.
Transmutation of sex energy. I know what you're thinking, but this isn't what it sounds like.
Right. It's not about anything inappropriate.
Okay.
Hill, writing in a different time, was trying to explain the power of channeling intense desire and energy into productive endeavors.
Okay.
He believed that the drive behind sexual desire could be harnessed and redirected towards achieving ambitious goals.
So it's about understanding your motivations,
Exactly.
recognizing the power of that primal energy,
Yes.
and consciously directing it towards your goals.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
Artists, musicians, entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
they often pour their heart and soul into their work,
Yeah.
driven by a powerful inner force.
Right.
Some might argue that's a form of transmuted energy.
Right.
Hill was trying to tap into that raw creative power that lies within each of us.
And the workbook even dives into the 10 mind stimuli,
Yes.
with the desire for sexual expression being the most potent,
Right.
highlighting the importance of understanding these driving forces
Yeah.
and how to consciously channel them.
It's about recognizing the power of desire
Right.
and using it as fuel for your ambitions, not letting it control you.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But there's one final principle in this first section that I find incredibly intriguing.
Okay.
The sixth sense.
Oh, yes.
Hill believed this wasn't some mystical power, but rather a heightened intuition that anyone could develop.
Right. It's about aligning your conscious and subconscious mind to access that deeper level of wisdom and insight.
So how do we access that?
Hill even had a technique he called invisible counselors.
Invisible counselors. Okay, I'm hooked.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Hill would literally visualize a council of successful individuals he admired,
Okay.
like Emerson Payne and Ford.
Wow.
He'd have imaginary conversations with them,
Mm.
seeking their guidance and inspiration.
Really?
It's like having a dream team of mentors in your mind.
So it's about actively engaging with the knowledge and inspiration you seek,
Yes.
even if it's through visualization.
Exactly. And you can apply this technique in your own life.
Okay.
Choose individuals you admire, form your own invisible council, and tap into their wisdom through visualization and creative imagination.
This is where things start to get really powerful.
Right.
Tapping into that inner wisdom and accessing a level of guidance that goes beyond the ordinary.
It's a fascinating concept, and we'll be exploring it in more detail in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned because there's so much more to explore. We'll be back soon with part 2 of your deep dive into the Think and Grow Rich workbook. Okay, we're back and ready to dive even deeper into the Think and Grow Rich workbook. Now you might be thinking, I've got the desire, the belief, the knowledge, the plan. I'm unstoppable. But the workbook throws in a bit of a reality check, right?
That's right. It acknowledges that even with the best intentions, we're constantly bombarded with negativity.
Yeah.
Both from external sources and that inner critic we all have.
So it's like we need to develop a mental shield to deflect those bad vibes.
Exactly. Appendix 2 is all about how to protect yourself against negative influences.
Okay.
Hill provides practical advice for recognizing your weaknesses,
Right.
guarding your thoughts, and being mindful of the company you keep.
There's even a section about cleaning out your medicine cabinet
Yeah.
and stopping the sympathy-seeking behavior.
You might laugh, but Hill was serious. It's about taking control of your physical and mental well-being,
Okay.
not giving power to negativity. Don't let those aches, pains,
Right.
and imagined illnesses become self-fulfilling prophecies.
That's a powerful shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on what's wrong,
Yeah.
you're choosing to focus on health and vitality.
Right. And it aligns with the idea of auto-suggestion we talked about earlier.
Right.
You're essentially feeding your subconscious mind
Yeah.
with positive affirmations about your health and well-being.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these principles are interconnected.
Yeah.
Like pieces of a puzzle fitting together.
Exactly. Now, Appendix 3 is where things get really intense.
Okay.
It's a list of self-analysis test questions, and they're not for the faint of heart.
62 questions that force you to get brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah.
It's about confronting those uncomfortable truths
Right.
about your habits, beliefs, and actions.
And I know it can be daunting,
Yeah.
but facing those truths is the first step towards real growth. It's like holding up a mirror to your soul and saying, okay, this is where I am right now. What needs to change?
It's about taking ownership of your life and making conscious choices that align with your goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you've identified those areas that need work,
Right.
the workbook provides guidance on how to address them
Okay.
and develop a more empowered mindset.
Okay. And then we have Appendix 4,
Yeah.
which is kind of hilarious.
Uh-huh.
It's a list of famous alibis by Old Man If.
Ah, yes,
Uh-huh.
old man If, the master of excuses.
Right.
If I had more money, if I had more time, if I had more support.
Yeah.
We've all met him at some point in our lives.
He's that voice in our heads that tries to rationalize our inaction
Right.
and keep us stuck in our comfort zone.
Exactly. Hill calls him out,
Yeah.
highlighting these excuses for what there's self-imposed limitations
Right.
that prevent us from achieving our true potential.
It's about recognizing those limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones.
Yeah.
It's about saying, okay, I'm done with excuses. I'm taking responsibility for my life and creating the future I desire.
And you know what's fascinating is that Hill didn't just identify the problem.
Yeah.
He also offered solutions. He provides specific strategies
No.
for overcoming those alibis and turning those ifs into whens.
So it's not just about awareness. It's about taking action.
Exactly.
It's about saying, okay, I recognize this excuse. Now what am I going to do about it?
Precisely. It's about shifting from a passive mindset to an active one.
Right.
From blaming external circumstances to taking control of your own destiny.
Okay, so we've explored these fascinating appendices, but I want to circle back to one of those fundamental principles in the workbook.
Okay.
That's organized planning.
Sure.
Hill was a big believer in the power of writing down your goals.
Absolutely. And the workbook provides clear guidance on
Yeah.
how to create a detailed plan for achieving your financial goals.
So it walks you through it step by step.
It does. It encourages you to decide exactly what kind of job you want. Research potential employers and identify your unique skills and talents.
It even has a section on developing your QS rating,
Yes.
quantity and spirit of service.
That's right.
It's all about exceeding expectations, going above and beyond in everything you do.
And this dedication to excellence was something Hill believed was crucial
Yeah.
for attracting opportunities and achieving lasting success.
Okay, you've got your plan, you're putting in the work,
Right.
but let's be honest, setbacks happen.
They do.
How does the workbook address those moments of doubt and discouragement?
Well, that's where the principle of persistence comes in again.
Right.
The workbook reminds you that temporary defeats are inevitable.
Right.
It's how you respond to them that matters.
It's about having that resilient mindset.
Exactly. It provides practical tips for staying motivated,
Okay.
overcoming obstacles, and maintaining your focus.
And it emphasizes that having a clear purpose,
Yes.
a detailed plan,
Uh-huh.
and a supportive network to draw strength from can help you push through those challenging times.
Exactly. When you have a strong why driving you,
Right.
a roadmap to guide you,
Yeah.
and people who believe in you, those setbacks become temporary hurdles,
Okay.
not insurmountable walls.
And speaking of hurdles, the workbook actually dives into the 30 major causes of failure.
Oh, yes.
It's like a cautionary tale highlighting the common pitfalls
Right.
that can derail our progress.
It's a reality check. Hill analyzed the lives of countless individuals
Yeah.
and identified these recurring patterns that lead to failure.
Wow.
And he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
He lays it all out there, providing a stark reminder
Yeah.
of the things we need to avoid.
It's like having a wise mentor whispering in your ear, watch out for these traps.
Yeah.
Don't let these things sabotage your success.
And the workbook even includes a failure inventory where you can assess your own vulnerabilities and identify any areas where you might be at risk.
So it's about being proactive, recognizing potential obstacles, and taking steps to avoid them. It's about learning from the mistakes of others so we don't have to repeat them ourselves.
Right. And it's important to remember that failure is not the opposite of success.
Right.
It's a part of the journey. It's the feedback that helps us learn, grow, and ultimately achieve our goals.
So we've talked about protecting ourselves from negative influences, confronting our weaknesses,
Right?
recognizing potential pitfalls,
Yeah.
and embracing persistence.
Yes.
But what about those inner critics that can sometimes hold us back? How do we silence those voices of doubt and fear?
Well, that's where the concept of transmuting your defeats into victories comes in.
Okay.
It's about reframing our past experiences, learning from our mistakes,
Yeah.
and using those challenges as fuel for growth.
It's like taking those lemons life throws at us and making some delicious lemonade,
Exactly.
turning those setbacks into stepping stones, those failures into valuable lessons.
Right. And the workbook provides a powerful exercise
Okay.
where you list 3 major disappointments in your life and then reflect on how those experiences have actually strengthened you over time.
That's such a valuable exercise. It's about shifting our perspective and recognizing that even our toughest challenges can serve as catalysts for growth and transformation.
Right. And it ties into Hill's belief that everything happens for a reason,
Right.
that even our failures can ultimately lead us to greater success if we're willing to learn from them.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive,
We have.
but I think we have time for one more key concept before we move on to the final part.
Okay.
And I think it's fitting that we revisit the concept of the sixth sense.
Yes.
We talked about it briefly earlier,
Right.
but now we can delve a bit deeper into the practicalities of accessing this elusive source of wisdom and inspiration. Okay, I'm ready to unlock the secrets of the sixth sense. Tell me everything.
Well, as we mentioned before, Hill believed that the sixth sense wasn't some mystical superpower,
Right.
but rather a heightened intuition that could be developed through aligning the conscious and subconscious mind.
And he attributed many of his own successes
He did.
to insights and ideas that seemed to come from this sixth sense, right? Those aha moments of brilliance.
Exactly. And he believed that everyone had the potential to tap into this source of wisdom and creativity.
So we all have it within us.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just a matter of understanding how to access it and then trusting those intuitive nudges.
So how do we do it? How do we unlock this sixth sense and tap into this infinite reservoir of wisdom?
Hilly outlines several key strategies in the workbook.
Okay.
First, he emphasizes the importance of cultivating a positive and receptive mental state.
Okay.
It's about clearing out those negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that can cloud our intuition.
So it's like creating a mental sanctuary, a space where inspiration can flow freely without being blocked by negativity and doubt.
Exactly. And he suggests practicing meditation, visualization, and affirmations
Uh-huh.
to help quiet the mind and create a more receptive space for intuitive insights to emerge.
It's like tuning into a different frequency, one that's aligned with wisdom and clarity.
Right. Now, the second strategy Hill highlights is trusting our gut instincts. That little
Sure.
voice inside that whispers guidance or warns us of danger.
But sometimes it's hard to distinguish between intuition and fear, right?
It is.
How do we know if we're truly following our intuition or just reacting out of fear?
That's where discernment comes in.
Okay.
Hill recommends paying attention to the physical sensations that accompany those intuitive nudges.
Oh, okay.
If it feels expansive, aligned with your goals, and energizing,
Right.
it's likely your intuition guiding you.
Okay.
But if it feels constricted, fear-based, and draining, it might be wise to pause and reflect before taking action.
So it's about developing that inner compass, that ability to discern between intuition and fear, between what feels right and what feels off.
Exactly. And the more you practice listening to your intuition, the more you'll develop that inner knowing and trust that you're being guided in the right direction.
Okay, and what about those aha moments, those flashes of insight that seem to come out of nowhere? Hill had a name for those, right?
He called them hunches or inspirations.
Okay.
And he believed they were a direct result of tapping into the sixth sense,
Yeah.
of aligning the conscious and subconscious mind in a way that allows those creative sparks to ignite.
And he actually developed a technique for accessing those intuitive insights, right? Something he called sitting for ideas.
Yes. He was inspired by the work of Dr. Elmer R. Gates,
Okay.
an inventor and scientist who had a unique method for stimulating creativity.
Okay, this is fascinating. Tell me more about Dr. Gates and his method.
Well, Dr. Gates would literally sit in a specially designed room, free from distractions,
Uh-huh.
and focus his mind on a particular problem or challenge.
Okay.
He believed that by creating this mental vacuum, he could allow inspiration to flow more freely.
So it's like creating a space where those aha moments can emerge without being drowned out by the noise of everyday life.
Exactly. And Dr. Gates claimed that this method helped him generate countless inventions and ideas.
Wow, that's incredible. And Hill adopted this technique himself.
He did. And he encourages readers to experiment with it as well.
Okay.
It's about dedicating time and space for focused thinking, for quieting the mind and allowing those intuitive insights to surface.
And the workbook even provides a detailed set of instructions for sitting for ideas.
It does. So if you're feeling stuck or lacking inspiration, this could be a powerful technique to try.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that. Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more aspect of accessing the sixth sense that Hill emphasizes,
Okay.
the power of collaboration and seeking guidance from others.
Ah, yes, the mastermind principle.
Yeah,
Hill believed that surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals, mentors, and advisors
right.
could enhance our intuition and provide valuable insights that we might not have access to on our own.
So it's about leveraging the collective wisdom and experience of others, tapping into their insights and perspectives to amplify our own intuitive abilities.
Exactly. And it's not just about passively receiving advice.
Right.
It's about engaging in meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
Asking thought-provoking questions and sparking new ideas through collaboration.
It's like creating a synergy, a collective intelligence that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Right. And Hull encourages readers to actively seek out mentors, join mastermind groups,
Uh-huh.
and engage in discussions that challenge their thinking and open up new possibilities.
This is where the magic really happens, right?
Yeah.
When we combine our own inner wisdom with the insights and experiences of others, we can achieve extraordinary results.
Exactly. And the workbook provides practical guidance on how to form your own mastermind group,
Wow.
how to identify potential mentors,
Right.
and how to create a collaborative environment that fosters growth and inspiration.
Okay, this has been a truly mind-expanding exploration of the sixth sense. So starting to see how this principle, which might seem a bit mystical at first, can actually be accessed and cultivated through practical techniques
Yeah.
and a willingness to trust our inner guidance.
And remember, Hill believed that this sixth sense,
Yeah.
this intuition, was the key to unlocking our greatest potential and achieving extraordinary results. He saw it as the bridge between the finite mind and infinite intelligence.
And he provides practical tools and techniques in the workbook to help us develop and harness this powerful faculty.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the more you'll realize that this sixth sense is not something reserved for a select few.
Right.
It's an innate ability that we all possess.
We all have it.
Yes. It's just a matter of awakening it and learning to trust its wisdom.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. We've explored the importance of protecting ourselves from negative influences, confronting our weaknesses, recognizing potential pitfalls, embracing persistence, and cultivating our sixth sense.
And we've just scratched the surface. There's still so much more to discover in the final part of our deep dive into the Think and Grow Rich workbook.
Stay tuned. We'll be back soon to uncover the remaining secrets and empower you to put these principles into action and create the life of your dreams. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the Think and Grow Rich workbook. We've covered a lot of ground, from igniting that burning desire to tapping into the power of the sixth sense.
And now it's time to bring it all together to explore how we can integrate these principles into our daily lives and start seeing tangible results.
You know, one concept we touched on briefly in the previous part that I'd love to explore further is Hill's idea of invisible counselors. It sounds a bit mystical,
It is.
but I'm intrigued by the practical implications.
It is a fascinating concept, and it really highlights Hill's belief in the power of imagination and visualization.
Yeah.
Essentially, he advocated for mentally conjuring a council of successful individuals you admire, almost like creating a dream team of mentors in your mind.
So it's about drawing inspiration and guidance from those we admire, even if they're not physically present.
Exactly. Hill believed that by regularly engaging with these invisible counselors through visualization,
Uh-huh.
we could tap into their wisdom, gain clarity on challenges, and receive guidance on our path to success.
And you can choose anyone, right? It doesn't have to be historical figures or famous entrepreneurs.
That's right. It could be authors, artists, scientists, even family members or friends who embody qualities you admire.
Yeah.
The key is to select individuals who inspire you and represent the kind of success you aspire to achieve.
I'm picturing it now having this inner circle of advisors available at any time.
Yeah.
But how do you actually meet with them? Is there a specific process?
Hill outlines a simple yet powerful technique in the workbook.
Okay.
He suggests finding a quiet space where you can relax and focus, closing your eyes, and vividly imagining your chosen counselors gathered around you.
It's like holding a board meeting in your mind.
Exactly. And then you simply engage in a dialogue with them. Ask them questions, seek their advice on specific challenges, or simply listen for insights and inspiration that might arise.
It sounds almost too simple, but I can see how powerful it could be if you really commit to the visualization and allow yourself to receive those insights.
And the beauty of this technique is that it's accessible to anyone.
Right.
You don't need special training or expensive equipment, just a willingness to tap into the power of your imagination.
Okay, so we've explored this fascinating concept of invisible counselors. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to the bigger picture. What's the ultimate takeaway you want listeners to walk away with?
I think the most important message of the Think and Grow Rich workbook is that success is not a matter of luck or circumstance.
Right.
It's a process that can be learned, practiced, and mastered.
It's about taking ownership of your destiny, equipping yourself with the right tools, and then taking consistent action towards your goals.
Exactly. And this workbook provides a comprehensive toolkit for doing just that.
Yeah.
It takes Hill's timeless principles and translates them into practical steps you can implement in your own life.
It's like having a roadmap to success, a step-by-step guide for transforming your dreams into reality.
And the most exciting part is that it's all within your reach. You have the power to create the life you desire. It starts with a burning desire, a belief in yourself, and a willingness to embrace the journey with all its challenges and triumphs.
And remember, it's not just about achieving material wealth.
No, it's not.
It's about living a life of purpose, meaning, and contribution.
It's about using your unique talents and abilities to make a positive impact on the world, to leave a legacy that extends beyond yourself.
So to our listener, I encourage you to revisit the workbook, to dive deeper into these principles, and to start putting them into action in your own life.
And remember, you are capable of achieving extraordinary things. The only limits are the ones you set in your own mind.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Think and Grow Rich workbook. Now, go out there and make your dreams a reality.